Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your man, Avery Fawcett. I am the founder and CEO of Hope for Humanity Incorporated, helping out people everywhere, and Swag Youth Ministry, serve, worship, agape God. It took me a while to create this video, and one of the main reasons why it took me a while to create this video is because I'm a perfectionist. I want everything to be right, and sometimes it may seem like procrastination, but it's really not. I'm just a perfectionist, and I think a lot. But let me get to the point. I created Hope for Humanity Incorporated because I was a college athlete. My whole life, I always had the dream of going to the NFL. I remember as a young kid, young as I remember, I used to tell my mom and dad that I wanted to go to the NFL. And my mom and dad, they would just feed my little spirit. They would just tell me, Avery, like, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. And I believed it. I truly believed that I was going to the NFL. Eventually, I started playing middle school ball, high school ball, and went to college, played college ball. And all my life, I was a starter. All my life, I started. And I went to college, and they red-shirted me, which is the shirt that I'm rocking right now, red-shirted. And when they red-shirted me, I didn't understand. I didn't quite understand why I was being red-shirted when I felt like I was the best thing out there on that field at my position. And obviously, the coaches felt otherwise. Either the coaches felt otherwise or they wanted to save me for next year. But still, to me, I did not understand. I did not understand why would I be sitting on the sideline and I had all these skills, and all my life I've never sat on the sideline. I've never sat on the sideline and watched just anybody play the game that I love so much. So that right there, it killed my self-esteem. It put me in a state of depression. It killed my confidence. And I started doing things that were not of the team. I started drinking and smoking, things that I did not do before I came to college. Started drinking. I started smoking marijuana. I started skipping study hall. I started skipping practice. I started skipping the weight room. Curfew. I was at the clubs when we were supposed to have curfew. I was just doing things that were not of the team only because I did not understand what being red-shirted truly was. Eventually, all of these things that I was doing caught up to me, and I was kicked off of my college football team the same day of homecoming, the night before homecoming. And I learned something. I learned something over time that being red-shirted just means you have to wait your turn. You see, in life, we get red-shirted. Right? We get red-shirted in relationships. We get red-shirted on a job. We get red-shirted in sports. We get red-shirted in life. We get red-shirted in our marriages, everywhere. We get red-shirted in life. And that just means that something I did not know back then, but now I know that it just means that wait until God calls your number. Wait until God calls your name and tell you it's time for you to get out onto the field and play. But oftentimes we're not patient enough to realize that it's God behind the scenes on our behalf, right? Because we live in an instant gratification world. We want stuff right now. So that's why I got kicked off my football team. Then the second reason why I started Hope for Humanity is because of two young men that I went to school with. Two young men, Sean Love and Terrence Jones. These young men both were murdered in the fall of 2013, around the same time my niece was born. I remember like yesterday. I was going home to visit my niece, so happy to see my baby girl. Going home every weekend to see my niece, and one weekend my brother told me, Terrell, he got murdered. I'm like, what? Told me what happened. Dang, sad, crazy, right? And then the next weekend I came back. Sean got killed. Sean got shot, right? Dang, it's crazy, right? And right then and there, that very moment, I felt something. I felt God telling me, Avery, you got to do something about this. You got to do something about this. Not only have you lost football, not only have you been suicidal, not only have you went through a state of depression, but now it's 2 young men out there that lost their lives. You got to do something. So I did. I created Hope for Humanity Incorporated. And Hope for Humanity is an organization that helps young men and women believe in themselves. It uplifts the community. It uplifts our young men and women who has dreams and are unsure about themselves, who are having self-doubt about their dreams and goals because they're currently red-shirted. Hope for Humanity is that organization that helps young men and women that are in environments that they can't even control. It's not their fault that they're in those environments. They're being brought up in these environments. They can't get out. So now they gotta succumb to the streets. They gotta succumb to violence. Hope for Humanity is that organization that goes in and grabs that young man and woman and tell them, look, this ain't gotta be you. You can be this, you can be that, only if you believe in yourself. But you gotta also understand, young man, young king, young queen, that you gotta go through the process in order to get the results that you truly want. So that's why I created Hope for Humanity. That's why I created SWAG, Serve, Worship, Agape, God. Because I want to let young men and women understand that I was once there where you were. I was once there where you were lost in the streets, doing stuff that was not of God, doing stuff that was not of my team, doing stuff that was selfish, living in the flesh. But here I am today, trying to help you, trying to uplift you, trying to build you. And you can do the same thing for another man and young woman, only if you truly believe in yourself. That's what Hope for Humanity is about. That's what SWAG is about. Showing young women that it's okay to serve God. That SWAG is not all about the clothes and the shoes that you wear. SWAG can be about serving God as well. That's what SWAG is about. That's what Hope for Humanity is about. Uplifting the community. Going into the community, helping the people in need. That's what Hope for Humanity is about. So if you were unsure what Hope for Humanity is about, that's what we are about. We are about uplifting our kings and queens, our young women, our young men, our families, our moms and dads, uncles, nephews, cousins, brothers, sisters, whatever. That's what we are about. If you would like to be a part of the journey, you can. We need you. As you know, it takes a village. We can't do this by ourselves. We can't. I thank you, and I'm out.